Ayan, magandang araw sa inyong lahat, to my students and sa mga viewers natin ng channel. Um, it has been a long period na hindi tayo nakapag-upload ng mga videos about lectures ng mga tourism major subjects. So, right now, magbibigay ako ng konting pointers para sa final requirement natin or certain review lang for the subject heritage tourism. Okay? So, when we say heritage tourism, we have to really anchor the subject or every major tourism subject sa UNWTO rules and guidelines in a way na yung standard of teaching of or learning tourism is within the ambit of the international community or core values. So when we say heritage tourism, ayan, ang suggestion ko, we have to focus more on our tourism destinations. So at first, we have to in doing the final requirement or video of learning, we have to uh, inculcate or we really have to apply all the learned knowledge, ayan, that we researched for or about that specific subject, specifically the heritage tourism or the destination itself. So, mag-iisip tayo ng mga, we really have to think of uh, a destination, a tourism destination within our locality. Mas maganda syempre yung hindi pa sikat, di ba? Yung tinatawag nating emerging yan, destination. Kasi usually, ang mga destinations naman na natin, they are already there. They were already classified, ayan, by the, usually by the local government and Department of Tourism itself. But para sa atin, ayan, yung mga estudyante ng tourism, we really have to learn or we really have to be very sensitive in determining a specific place or destination na potential na maging tourist attraction and maybe subject for heritage tourism. Okay? Kasi sinasabi nga natin, the growing interest of visitors in genuine cultural experiences brings along considerable opportunities, ayan, but also complex challenges for tourism. Ang sabi ko nga, di ba, according din sa mga colleagues natin sa industry and sa academe, that we really have to look into the details of that particular destination, ayan, and then we have to classify them if they are man-made or natural. And then upon determining if they are man-made or natural, we really have to think of not really development, ayan, di ba? Pwedeng development, but in a way that it will not ruin or destroy the image or the cultural value of the destination, okay, itself. So, for example, maganda example nito yung sa Palawan, yung sa underground river. They've made a pathwalk going to the small pier sa underground river, going to the underground river proper, and then yeah, it's cemented. However, they were not able to cut down the trees in going to that particular area. So in a way, yung nature natin, it's not really, hindi siya destroyed or it was developed, ayan, pero hindi siya totally destroyed. But the ambience or the feeling of getting there is, brings the same vibe of tourism, di ba? Which is very natural and very distinct in character. Okay? So, as a member of the United Nations World Tourism Organization or the member of the Family of Nations, ayan. So, ang mandate din sa atin ng Department of Tourism is to hindi somehow but really to inculcate the value of tourism within this within the international standard. Ayan. Okay? Ayan. And then let's go back to another point. Okay? We really have to determine the importance of that particular cultural or heritage destination. Ayan. So yung importance niya, dapat masabi natin in details. Okay? Well, the objective of this study pa lang, okay, before I forget it, is to apply the learned knowledge of all the learnings that we had and the past few days of teaching heritage tourism. So as we go along, yung importance of the cultural heritage sites or the tourism destinations, ano nga ba yung mga importansya nila? Ayan. To tell you honestly, when I was in the industry, and sa travel agency tour operator, they were able to to they were able to let us realize na yung mga turista natin, specifically yung mga Europeans, ayan, kasi European yung namin, yung market ng travel agency namin before. They really love Filipino culture. They visit Filipino destinations or they visit the destinations of the Philippines because they really wanted to experience the culture of the place. So kaya nga sabi ko sa mga estudyante ko, di ba? When there's a foreign national, for example lang, they would love to eat not in a quick service restaurant or mga fast food na tinatawag natin. Mas gusto nilang kumain sa mga local restaurants. Okay? Kasi they really wanted to know yung taste, authentic taste of Filipino cuisines. So if you want them to enjoy what Filipino is or Philippine hospitality means, bring them to a local restaurant. Ayan, lalo na yung mga old houses na ginawang restaurant. Kasi yung Philippine vibe na tawag dito, yung ambience, ayan, na kumakain sila in Philippine setup, iba. Okay? Kasi nga, wala sa kanila nun sa bansa nila. So, when we are having some, tawag dito, foreign guests, ayan. Usually, they love to travel or to try our tricycle, yan, yung mga jeep, di ba? So, kaya nga kami pag meron kaming visitor, well, inbound tourist, tapos they wanted to go to Banawe, for example, we would use local guides. Ayan, local guides. Kasi sila yung nakakaalam nung destination itself, yung talagang mastery nila yung place. And aside from the fact na we are also promoting local employment, tourism is a tool of promoting local employment. Ayan. And then yung cultural value ng mga sasakyan natin, for example, ng jeep, di ba? Alam na natin, it's very elementary knowledge na ang jeep, binili, sabi nila, piso, isang jeep during that time after the World War. And then, dahil nga pininturahan yon, dahil nga makulay yung buhay ng mga Filipino, they would repaint it. Si Mr. Sarao nga daw yung, di ba, yung as per our historians, yung bumili ng mga G.I. Joe jeep na abandoned ng mga American soldiers during the World War. And then, dahil nga makulay yung buhay ng Filipino, pininturahan niya yon. So, that symbolizes Philippine history. Yan. So, yung mga foreigners, they are really, excited to ride on a jeep. Kaya nga sana, sa mga authority natin, if you really wanted, well, alam ko naman, sana hindi naman may phase out natural, yung totality ng mga jeep, but to not more of the enhancement, but to retain yung outlook niya, yung structure ng jeep itself. Kasi sa transportation pa lang, alam mo na, jeep yan. Sa Philippines yan, di ba? So, may cultural value. So, that's part of our heritage. Ayan. So, if ever man, magkakaroon tayo ng jeep, talagang itsura niyang jeep, hindi yung mukhang coaster. Okay? Kasi iba ang itsura ng coaster sa jeep. You got it naman siguro, yung idea. But anyway, let's move on sa global wealth of tradition. Sabi nga nila, um, may mga may mga motivations of travel tayo. Okay? Most of the tourists would seek or engage new cultures and experiences. So they would love to learn more cultural informations, mingling with locals. So, for example nga ulit dun sa Banawe, when we go down sa when we visit one of their villages, na-experience natin yung yung cultural way of living ng mga locals. Gustong-gusto yun ng mga turista, lalo na ng mga foreigners. Kasi, for example, yung mga kababayan natin na Igorot, ayan, they really love to see yung mga movements nila, yung pananamit nila, bakit bahag, bakit ganon. So, yung mga natin, mga tribo, ayan, sa for example lang sa Banawe, they would explain uh, their life, their mode of living, paano sila nabubuhay, how they would survive the mountainous area of the place. Sinasabi nila yon. So these tourists are learning more. So nagkakaroon tuloy sila ng a wide range of idea, 'di ba? Deposit of wealth pertaining to traditions. Mas alam na nila ngayon, okay, ang Philippines pala is ganito, divided into so many rich cultural ethnic groups, mga ganon. So, we're not only telling tawag dito yung mga way of living, but also yung mga handicrafts, the performing arts, their dances, their songs, yung mga rituals, yung mga cuisines, ayan, they are some should we say mga elementals na why do or motivators, why do tourists would visit a place or destination. Okay, so when we say sustainable development of indigenous tourism, it states there na they would provide guidance to tourism stakeholders to develop more their operations in a responsible, sustainable manner within those indigenous communities. Ayan. If they are really open for tourism development or improve the existing tourism experiences with their communities. Nga pala guys, disclaimer, most of my lectures are based from the United Nations World Tourism Heritage and organization. And also those na nasa Google na I know na very credible. Okay, so I really don't own the information, but this is for academic purposes. Kaya ko po dinidiscuss lang. Okay, so when we do the video about the heritage, about heritage tourism, I really wanted to know the sustainable development of indigenous tourism. Okay? Meaning, may development, yes, but it doesn't really enhance yung cultural value. The vibe is still there, the spirit's still there, okay? The ambiance is still there, yung mga ganon. So, mas maganda rin i-recommend natin yung mga stakeholders ang ginagawa nila about it. Ayan. Specifically, mga tour operators. For example, travel agencies or tour operators, are they using local guides or local local transportation? or they would provide other means of local transportation for their guests. Ayan. Kasi sabi ko nga 'di ba, nandoon yung culture, nandoon yung heritage pagdating sa experience of traveling, 'di ba? Yung particular naman sa mga local guides natin, do they include yung mga script na about uh, tawag dito yung mga local dialects, 'di ba? Teaching local dialects kahit papaano yung magandang umaga, magandang araw in their local dialects, or yung dun sa mismong hindi naman sa mother tongue 'yan, 'di ba? Yung sa ang tawag dito, basta dun sa locality nila, yung ethnic language nila, ayan. So, let's go now to the indigenous communities. Ayan. Ito bang community na to, they would provide cultural show, for example lang, di ba? Kasi bawat destination natin, okay, for example sa Bohol, magandang example yung Bohol, I love Bohol, lalo na dun sa Lubok River cruise. Ayan, 'di ba? Kumakain yung mga turista ng buffet sa bangka na malaki. Tapos they would dock in one barangay to another. Tapos itong mga barangay uh, officials natin or yung mga kabarangay doon sa lugar na 'yon, they would dance, they would entertain our guests or yung mga local guests or mga international foreign guests natin. They would dance the way they have it there. They would sing yung mga local songs. So do they also provide that kind of practice na ito pala yung kultura nila pagdating sa pagkain, pagdating sa pananamit, pagdating sa tawag dito, sayaw, kanta, and everything. So, ando dun yung yung always heritage, nandoon yung culture. Okay? And then, yung mga turista natin, let's not forget naman yung mga turista na bumibisita. Do they really affect the locals? Kasi, yes, they may affect the local o the locals. Pero, isipin natin, is it for the benefit of the locals? Naiiba ba niya yung kultura ng mga local doon, 'di ba? For example lang, sa isang locality lang na for example lang naman, no? So, sa isang locality, for example lang yung mga ethnic natin na katutubo. Yan. Wala pa silang mga damit, right? Kasi they would have, but yung mga damit nila is more of the made of indigenous materials. Pero pag dumating yung mga foreign people or yung mga local visitors natin, binigyan sila ng t-shirt. 'Di ba? Parang ito ba sila dati? Ito ba sila noon kung isusot ba nila tong mga damit na to? Well, it would benefit them, yes, 'di ba? But make it a point, ito bang locality na to, I mean, itong mga turista na to, hindi naman nila masyadong iniiba yung mode of living ng mga katutubo natin. We can interact, walang problema doon. But may mga kasi may mga point na naapektuhan yung mga local natin, ethnic groups. So I'm not saying na mali or masama, okay? We always think of the positive ways. Ang concern lang natin dito in a way na hindi sila na iiba or mag-iiba for the worst. Okay? Yung mapipreserve pa rin natin yung cultural branding natin, yung tradition natin of having that kind of practice. Example nito ulit, balik tayo sa mountain area. There's a lot of for example, mga igorot nating kababayan doon. Iba syempre mga naka-t-shirt na sila or may mga damit na. But when they would perform in front of the guest, ayan, local or international, they would still wear their traditional clothing, yung mga Well, kasi 'di ba, yung kulay ng mga bahag nila depicts their standing in life, or yung tawag dito, uh, ano man tawag doon, yung stature nila sa community. Ayan. So, the more color na meron sila sa bahag nila, the higher their status. Parang ganon. So, dun pa lang, alam na natin, sa culture natin, sa local, sa ethnic group na ganon, for example lang, we have this kind of distinct identity na hindi pa rin nasisira or nawawala, even though ang daming turista nang pumupunta sa kanila, they would visit the place or the destination. And I love to go back again to Banawe. Specifically sana sa Sagada. I have never been to Sagada. I mean, I've been there, kaya lang bumabagyo. Okay? But I'm planning to go there para mabigyan ko kayo ng mga fresh information about that. Malay nyo, may mag-sponsor sa akin papunta doon. No, let's go now to the stakeholders, katulad ng mga governments, local governments, policy makers, and destinations. Okay. Sa tourism talaga, guys, ayon sa study ko rin naman during my doctorate degree, iba talaga yung yung hold or responsibility ng local government. Kasi sila yung pinaka-core kung bakit sila nandoon. Paano po protektahan yung mga sinabi nating mga local destinations or emerging destinations? How would they be more tourism-oriented? How would they be more tourism-friendly? Ayan. And how could they help alleviate the economic stature of their lives dun sa destination? Kasi syempre, tawag dito, kapag maraming turista, maraming employment. Bakit? Maraming kakain, maraming makikitulog, maraming bibili ng mga, alam mo yung mga materials or mga souvenirs. So, nakakatulong ang maraming turista sa isang destination. So, ang point dito, ano ang ginagawa ng local government since they have the initial information na okay, ilan ang turistang pumunta sa lugar natin, what are their purposes, and how they were, ang tawag dito, how would they affect the locals, di ba? So, yun yung concern natin. Ito bang mga local governments natin, at mga sanggunian, they would pass a law to protect the tourist, specifically also the destination. Una muna yung destination, and then yung mga locals natin, and then yung mga turista. Pwede naman yun at the same time. I'm not saying na yung mga turista na yun yung yung least priority. Everyone is their priority. Kasi sabi ko nga before sa mga previous lessons na sinasabi ko sa mga estudyante na lahat tayo ay part ng tourism. So kailangan in ways, since the local government has the power, it can implement at the same time yung mga policies that would protect the destination, the locals or the community itself, and of course the tourists. Ayan. Sir, kasama din ba yung mga businessmen? Of course, sila pa nga, di ba, yung dapat din natin i-consider. Kasi kung walang businessmen or mga businesses na to sa tourism, edi wala na naman tayong income na mag-generate ng mas maraming monetary reward para sa local government natin, specifically through taxes, di ba? Okay, let's go now to lesson 3, heritage and history. Yung credibility ng tawag dito ng history ng isang lugar would depend upon the thorough research, okay, ng tawag dito, ah, ng person concerned. Sabihin na natin, for example, ako, nagtuturo ako ng tourism. So that means, I really have to get the most credible information, okay, about that particular destination. Kailangan syempre i-preserve natin yung ano, yung story nung lugar na yon kasi wala tayong may kukwento sa mga susunod na salinlahi natin, di ba? So una, sino yung or ano yung magandang source na sinasabi ko kapag nagkaklase ako? Well, kung ano yung uh, usually ganito, I would visit the National Historical Institute. Super credible, of course. Kasi syempre, ni-research yan. Okay, hindi naman agad-agad yan na ilalathala yung mga information na yan kung hindi naman talaga ni-research ng bonggang-bongga yun. So, you go to the National Historical Institute site, okay? Or, second is the yung website, official website of the destination or the place. Kasi they would provide the first information or the most credible information na okay, hindi to kwentong barbero lang. 'Di ba? Another information gathering would or method would be talaga you have to really visit the place. Kasi hindi mo makukwento ng maganda. Okay? Hindi mo may deliver yung mga information kung hindi mo napuntahan ng direct sa isang tao. Okay? Ang ano natin dito, ang purpose natin dito is to know the primary information na hindi siya gawa-gawa lang. Okay? So, anong gagawin natin? We have to research. Research na naman. Anyway, ganun eh. Yun ang buhay, di ba? I-research talaga. Okay. How do we research? Actually guys, yung mga turista natin, kahit naman ako, when I visit one place or another, I would ask yung mga locals natin, ano ba yung mga kuro-kuro? Or yung mga local stories? Kasi you are there already sa isang destination na yun. Pero anong kwento dito sa bundok na to? Anong kwento dito sa bahay na to? Anong kwento dito sa lugar na to? Anong kwento ng mga tao dito? Parang marites lang. 'Di ba? Pero marites in a way na yung information mo very credible at very informative naman. 'Di ba? Kasi ikaw na ngayon ang magsasabi sa isang tao, for example, sa isang guest na you were able to visit that place and that the destination is all about this and then na-entice mo siyang pumunta dun sa destination itself. Okay? So, you have to know yung local story. Okay? Usually ako naniniwala ako din sa mga matatanda doon. Kaya if ever na pumupunta ako sa isang destination, I would look for the senior citizens, di ba, for example, kay Wangkod. Ayan. I've never been to that place or to know or to meet personally our national artist na si Wangkod. But I would love to see her in person. Yung story niya, the way she would do the tattoo, local tattoo, di ba, is a credible evidence na etong lugar na to is has a distinct cultural value and sa mga turista. Kaya nga 'di ba, kahit kilometers away from the national road, talagang they would do the hiking just to meet Wangkod. How I wish may asthma lang ako. But anyway, yung story behind that particular person, that particular destination is very crucial, okay, in heritage tourism. Kasi through these stories or through these credible stories, natututo tayo na malaman, 'di ba, ang isang destination in its credible perspective. I mean, credible historical perspective. Okay? So, kung gagawa tayo ng video, final requirement about a certain destination, the story or the lesson behind that particular destination is very credible. Okay? And then, siguro yun lang muna. We'll just have, tawag dito, the initial information for you to digest. Umpisahan natin ng mga lectures pa more sa mga susunod na oras or sa mga susunod na araw. Mag-upload na lang po ako ng video. Ito po si Professor Dr. Francisco Ramos, ang inyong tourism professor na nagsasabi na daig ng masipag ang matalino, pero I'm not saying na huwag tayong maging matalino, but we are intelligent in our own way. Ang sa akin lang, dagdagan natin ng sipag sa turismo. Okay? So, hanggang sa susunod na video natin dito sa Heritage Tourism, magandang araw.